So schedule, man. I mean, you want to break down the schedule? Did you watch any of the schedule? First thing, before we get to the scheduling of the games,
yes, sir.
A little tally of the room here. The Saints put out a social media video yesterday on the day of the recognition, the day of the announcement, where they were sending food to all over the NFL, all over NFL cities, including the city of Atlanta. With great messages along the way. If you're watching at 1045ESPN.com or on Facebook Live, we'll pull up that tweet for you and show you some of the verbiage there. T, did you have a reaction to it? I thought it was great. I thought it was good. Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel bad. I told you that I did. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to go with this public, but I guess we have to because it's what we do.
Well, we're here now.
Yeah, I know. I don't. I feel bad. I feel like I'm being the cynical jerk here, and if you want to call me that, feel free. But
wow.
I thought it felt.
I usually play this role very well.
I thought it felt a little corporate and a little forced. If I'm being honest, and that's not to say that what was done wasn't really nice, because it was sending food to people that are battling on the front lines of COVID. Absolutely. Like, who doesn't support that? I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. You absolutely should have. That's fine. That's all well and good. It just felt like a lot of the commercials that we've been seeing. Hell, some of the live reads that we even do, where it's like, we know it's tough out here. We're all in this together. Don't worry, buy your Saints season tickets. Or like, I don't know, man. But that's just my opinion. I would have preferred they do the food thing and then still make one of the fun videos. Like the Panthers one I thought was awesome, very entertaining. The Jaguars one was maybe almost a little too internet-y, but still got a bunch of chuckles out of me. So
shout out to Melanero, as Dan pointed out this morning. Joey was subcontracted out by the Los Angeles Rams. He and his buddy were the main event.
Whatever. If you've seen the Zoom guy calls that they do, where they're like doing the puns back and forth, the Rams had them pun every team on the schedule. So look, that's my take on the Saints video. It's all good. You can yell at me if you feel like it. You loved it though.
I thought it was good. I was freaking out over it, retweeting it. I thought it was a nice gesture on draft day to just kind of show the reach of the organization with a really good message.
Yeah. That's fair.
So what'd you think about the games?
Now this I loved. What a schedule for New Orleans Saints fans. For basically 5 primetime games for Drew Brees. The Saints, and just through reading online and reading people break down schedules, you get an idea of who these Super Bowl favorites are. How about this? The ESPN experts that they had given their takeaways, and then they asked, okay, after the schedule these, who's going to make the Super Bowl? 5 of the 7 ESPN experts chose the Saints to make the Super Bowl. 3 of them chose the Saints to win it. And the only reason I bring this up is because I think that the schedule reflects that kind of expectation. I had it in my mind we go game by game and then give our overall thoughts at the end. Is that okay? You want to do it? All right. So you open up week 1.
Danny, open up your mic here.
You open up week 1 with the Bucs. Okay? Brees, Brady in the Superdome. Does it get any better? Historic matchup here. What do you boys think?
God, I just hope that there could be fans, man. I mean, I don't know what this is going to look like in front of an empty arena that sounds and looks like a scrimmage with 2 of the best quarterbacks of all time duking it out for the first time in the same division. I just hope that there's fans at this game. I love the fact that it's on the schedule week 1, though, because I think that everything in the offseason, all the buildup, all the talk about the kickoff to the year is going to be centered around New Orleans, Brees, and Brady coming in.
Yeah.
I'm not buying the Bucs hype train. Like, okay. I think everybody's got them Sherlock playoff. I mean, I think they definitely will make a push to make the playoffs, but I think they'll have a big target on their back with Brady, and that's not a really good team even around them.
I like that.
I'm actually with you, Danny, and I don't know if I'm being there's so many moving parts in this. Maybe I'm just looking at it through too much of a Saints view and assigning too much motivation behind things. But like I said, when I see that Bucs game early on, and then the second Bucs game just kind of tossed in the middle, and then I see a season that ends with the Carolina Panthers, but more interestingly, I see a season where out of the final 4 games, only 1 is a division game. That tells me that the NFL is kind of expecting the Saints to win the NFC South again, and that they're not expecting, because generally they like to backload those division games so that even if you're let's say you're 8-6, right? You still have a ton of playoff hope, and you're still in it. Or even if you're 7-7, you can still maybe win that division with those final games. So it keeps fan bases locked in. This schedule They just have the Saints going against some of the top teams in the league at the back end, and that makes me feel that that's more of like they view the Saints as being a team that may be challenging for that 1 seed. And so, yeah, Danny, I'm with you. If the Bucs or if they are fool's gold, then put it in week 1 when everybody has hope and everybody's excited, and Tom Brady's healthy and Drew Brees is healthy, both 40-plus-year-old guys. It makes a ton of sense. Week number 2. The Saints. Okay, so that was a historical game, right? First game, 2 40-year-old plus quarterbacks. History continues. First ever team to play in Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. That's not actually the name, but I figured y'all know what that is. It's going to be a Monday Night Football game in Vegas.
When I saw this, my first reaction was the respect that the league office still has for the New Orleans Saints and the expectation they have for him. I mean, because this is going to be another previewed talk about game. I mean, the entire NFL is going to be in Vegas on this night.
Yeah.
And really, we don't expect the Raiders to be the draw, right? I mean, it's going to be the stadium, the city, everything around the football team. You have to have something on the field that brings viewers in, and it's obviously the Saints. So I think that it's mad respect from the league office, and I can't wait to see them featured, in the desert on Monday Night Football in a big game.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like, you're right. The Raiders are actually one of the least interesting opponents on the schedule. Week 3, you return home for yet another historical matchup, as you're going to get Hall of Fame on Hall of Fame again. You will host the Green Bay Packers. This is a chance. It's going to be on Sunday Night Football. This is a chance for Drew Brees, in my opinion, to reinforce just how idiotic it was to put Aaron Rodgers on the all-decade team over Brees. Danny, how you feeling about this Brees-Packers matchup week 3?
I'm with you. I think Rodgers' time is like, I think he's so hyped.
I agree.
And it's for nothing. Like, Brees is definitely the better quarterback.
I agree.
Another one. I hope fans can see this.
I know. Week 4, you travel to Detroit. You face the Lions. This is the least exciting game on schedule.
Absolutely.
I have nothing to say here. Detroit's a garbage team. Going to Detroit, unlike going to Vegas, is not interesting. Week 5, you return home. You get the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Not the most interesting opponent, but you get a look at Justin Herbert. If you're an LSU fan, Trey Turner's up there now. They got a great pass rush for the Saints of the line to go against. I guess my only takeaway here is this going to be 3, to your point, Jordy, talking about the draw, 3 of the first 5 weeks of the NFL season, the Saints will be featured on primetime.
Yeah, and it feels like Brees will break some type of record, right? He usually does on Monday Night Football.
I wouldn't be surprised. Week 6 is a bye. Not the best timing here. Actually, only 2 teams have earlier buys, and that's the Lions and Packers. Still, I think after playing on that national stage so much, a nice little respite will be good for the team. And then, after the bye week, you come back to the Dome once again, and the Panthers come to town.
Well, I can't wait to watch these games because if you thought Peyton was petty during the draft on trying to take players away from Joe Brady, Matt Rule in Carolina, and guys like Tommy Stevens and what he did to get a 7th-round pick, wait till you see how petty he is during game week.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that he's pulling off on Sundays. So I just, for that reason alone, I can't wait to watch Joe Brady and kind of watch him kind of grow as an offensive coordinator in the league. But specifically to see Peyton and Brady and Peyton try to keep his thumb on Brady for as long as possible, I'm tuning in for that.
You think he tries to get Tommy Stevens in the end zone?
Yes.
the ultimate pettiness.
Something.
Try to find a way to get. How do y'all think the crowd will react to Teddy B?
Love him.
Yeah,
love him, right?
Oh, they love him.
The fans have no problem with Teddy. I don't feel like.
Yeah, I
love
agree.
him.
I agree. It's going to be cheers all around. It's going to be a feel-good moment.
They're going to name streets after Teddy in New Orleans at some point.
I hope he hits the bike. That might be a little change. Let's get through 2 more so we're halfway through the season. Just real quick on these. Because week 8, you're at the Bears. I mean, whatever. Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, who cares?
Ryan Pace.
And then week 9, this will be your 8th game of the year. So already here, halfway through the season, we're going to exhaust our Brees-Brady matches. This first half of the season is bookended with these Brees-Brady matchups.
And I think it goes to your theory where they got 2 40-year-old quarterbacks that they can promote and that they can market around, but you want to make sure that they do it in enough time where they give themselves a window where they're going to be healthy.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, so within the first 8 weeks of the season probably makes the most sense to get these 2 matchups out of the way. Yesterday we talked about them being at the back end of the season, possibly even in week 17, but you think about the the going through that schedule and keeping both of those guys healthy for that last weekend matchup seems a little bit more tough than trying to pull it off within the first 9 weeks of the season. So they meet week 1 in the Dome, and then they'll meet week 9 in Raymond James Stadium. That'll be on NBC, so that'll be a Sunday night primetime game. As we said, the Saints are slated for 4 primetime games, but they'll play a 5th on Christmas Day, and that'll be the only game. That's the first time the NFL has played a Christmas Day game since 2009.